boa noite e bem-vindos a Portimão, no Algarve, em Portugal. Esta noite estamos a transmitir o Grande Prémio de Portugal na terceira divisão do MRC. Chamo António e tenho em companhia do outro piloto da Divisão 1, desculpa. Chama-se Neville e sim, vamos a comentar esta corrida. Como estás, Neville? How are you?
Bienvenido.
I'll accept Spanish for tonight, for just because it's you, right? Had it been Chris, I wouldn't be taking it.
It's the right part of the world.
Yeah. Without being correct, you can't be any closer. That's very true. Hello, everybody, and yeah, I'm just going to translate it. We're in Portugal. We're in Portimão, one of the most hated tracks, and I'm so happy that I was part of the people who chose to have this track this season, because it's annoyed a few people out there. So I'm happy about that. It's probably even annoyed Neville, even though he's not been racing.
I like this track.
Really?
I don't have an issue with Portimão. I love Portimão. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that that's one of the, it's a shame I'm missing it this time.
Oh. I was going to say, don't worry, there isn't a gun next to your head. I'm not pressuring you into saying that, okay?
No, absolutely not.
So yes, Tier 3 is a go tonight. We've got quite a few new drivers this season. Obviously, last season we struggled to have a full grid, and it's led to us having to open the league up a bit to other platforms, PC drivers as well. So we have quite a few tonight. We've got Dan in P15 currently in the Ferrari, who is an Xbox driver, I believe. We also have Anton and Mikawa in the Mercedes, who are PC drivers, and so we've got quite a few external platform drivers. As Gav has set the first time this season in Tier 3, he's set 119.2, so that is a bank it up. I suppose it was on mediums as well. I'll get the tyres out. Yeah, it was on mediums, and Triz has set the first competitive time of a 118.6. Excuse me. Early doors. Is there anybody you're keeping an eye on for this qualifying session?
Ooh, good question. I'm just having a look through the list, because we had a pretty exciting championship fight last season, I believe, in Tier 3, and I think Wookie might have been involved, so I'd like to see what Wookie's capable of at the start of a new season.
Wookie was definitely in the conversation, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to watch him, but also obviously all the new guys from Xbox and PC. I'd be very interested to see how that spices things up as we go through the new season.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a rivalry between the PlayStation and the newcomers. Going to be like, you're in our territory, what are you doing here? So they're going to be wanting to show what they're made of exactly, as we still have the top 5 in PlayStation. We've got Ant Stoke as well, but he's invalidated his lap. We've got Mikawa coming up on hard tyres. And don't be too surprised about that. That's actually something I've advised him to do, because Mika is a very new player to this game. He's trying to get up to speed. Connor will know that firsthand, because I don't know if you watched the final race of Tier 3 last season in Abu Dhabi, but in qualifying, Connor went out of the way. Mika was on a lap. Mika wanted to get the slipstream, but he doesn't understand kind of the communication between drivers just yet. So he was trying to get the slipstream with Connor, who was slowing down, and he ran into him, and Connor got a five place grid penalty because of it. So he's really learning the game. So I've advised him tonight to just go on hards in qualifying, and have a few laps in to get a bit of practice just before the race. And yeah, the hard tyres aren't really a good tyre on this track.
No. But if you can keep it pointed the right way on the hards, then chances are you should be fine on the mediums and the softs.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, a good way to learn.
It's like driving a 2021 Haas. That's probably what it feels like for him right now with the hards.
Oh God.
Memories.
That's good,
Mazepin, Schumacher, Steiner. Wow. They've come a long way. They've come a very long way since 2021. Being paired up with Toyota now. Amazing. So Ant Stoke has set a purple middle sector down in P11 for now because he had invalidated his first lap. What can he do as he's going through the final 2 corners? This is a tricky one. Most corners are tricky. I think there's only like turn 6 which isn't tricky. It's that kind of kink, left kink after the right hairpin. Apart from that, it's... Oh.
I mean, I used to struggle with that actually, back in the...
Really?
Well, when was it? I think it might have been a race here in MRC I think it was on the 22 game where I had a spin coming out of that kink actually. So I've always sort of not had the best memories of that little kink.
In your defence, that's F1 22.
True.
I mean, that game you could spin out really randomly anywhere. So, I mean, this game is bad enough. 22 was something else to drive.
Yeah, but that memory has always kind of just played on my mind a bit when it comes to that corner.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. You were talking about Wookie earlier on, being one of the front runners of the championship last season. We expect him to be at the front this time around again. He won in Abu Dhabi, so he won the final race. Just for people to remember, like in 2015, I think Rosberg won the final race. In 2020, Verstappen won the final race in Abu Dhabi. We all know what happened the following seasons as well. So maybe Wookie is setting himself up pretty nicely for this season. He's got a purple middle sector, but to be honest, this doesn't mean anything on this game because it's so well implemented that purple doesn't actually mean fastest. So he's coming around the final corner. I believe it's a 16-corner track. Coming up the hill. And he sets it's going to be quick. It's 18.003, so only marginally quicker than Smith. Smith has put in a really good time, but his South African compatriot has set an even better time. It's a 17.8. I can't remember what the Tier 1 pole was. Must have been 16.2 or something, so we're only 1.6 seconds away from what Ben did. Ben, was it Ben? Was it Ben or Ugon? I think it was Ben. I can't remember.
Surely it was Ben.
Surely Ben, yeah.
Yeah. But I've just had a quick look at the final standings from last season, and Wookie actually finished second in the championship.
Yep.
Last season, and it was Flaherty who won, and I assume Flaherty has since moved up to Tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely a good opportunity for Wookie to stamp his authority a bit.
Yep. That's definitely what he's going to be looking at. He was runner-up. He's the first of everybody else who's in this division. I don't think we've got any demotions from Tier 2. No, we don't. So yeah, he kind of is the favourite. Another quick driver who has just set a lap time is, he's spun around now, but it's Naked Champion P2. He got a few race suspensions last season. It's Spin Central. Has it started to rain or something? No, it hasn't. I mean, it is kind of dark, so maybe tyre temperatures are going down. Who else do we have? We've got Connor. He's going to be looking at having a better season than what he had last season. Towards the end, he kind of found a bit more form, a bit more consistency. So he'll be looking at keeping that up as he goes through the end of the first sector with the DRS zone. What does he do here? I can't see. Yep, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll just go and find other drivers who are towards the end of their laps. We've got CBG Sambal. No, he's going to start his lap.
Connor just had a little excursion on his lap, but he regained the track pretty quickly. But that's probably blown his lap time.
It might have, yeah. It's not invalidated it yet, so we'll soon find out. Slippery corner after slippery corner. If he goes off track, I won't be taking the piss out of him, like it happens to everybody on this track. So I'll let him up for this one. So he's going through the final corner, 116. He's going to the pits. So yeah, as you said, it was it completely demolished his lap. Anton is improving in the mills. Oh no, he's not. He's not. So it's P11 for the moment, P14 for both Mercedes. Who else do we have out on track? Hive Eclipse has invalidated. Night Shadow is on a lap, I believe. He went purple in the first sector. What can you do in the middle sector? This is turn 8. This is probably the trickiest corner on the whole game, I'd say. Uphill, low speed, off camber. It's a horrible feeling going through that corner. You just hope you're going to keep all tyres pointing in the right direction. This is a really slippery exit as well. So that's purple in the middle sector. This is probably more indicative of his pace. In P6, purple can mean that you're quickest. So that's still, 5 or 6 tenths improvement for Gav here as he goes through the final 2 corners. That's the final proper corner, and here it's pretty much flat out. Really, really satisfying corner. And it's all flat out till the line. He improves by 4 tenths, but he doesn't improve his position. He's still in P6 with a 1 minute 18.3. Smith is the only one left on track on a lap, as Wookie's just started his lap, so we'll switch back to him just afterwards. Smith going through the final corner in his Red Bull, being last year's X and Xtreme champion. He had a choice. He picked the Red Bull. What can you do this time around? He doesn't improve. It's 18.1, so he's going to have to go back to the pits. He's got time to go, as Wookie has spun around a bit after setting the fastest first sector. I'm wondering how that might have affected his lap. I can't see any delta on his steering wheel. So we'll only find out after this double right-hander, which is super tricky on this game. It used to be pretty straightforward, this one, but yeah, he's still up on his time, so he did lose a bit, I believe. Now through the final 2 slippery corners here, off camber again, you want to run a bit wide to have as much traction as possible on the exit here, and then go flat out till the start-finish line. He's got still a bit of energy to use here, so once he's got his tyres straight, he can use the overtake button. He sets a 117.6, so despite that spin in the middle sector, he still gets the fastest lap, so he's got enough time to go around, and if he's got enough fuel as well, he'll be able to start a new lap. What about Ant Stoke? Ant Stoke is 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector, purple as well, according to the game. So P7 right now, a 2/10 improvement, even a 3/10 improvement wouldn't improve his position, but you never know. He might have had a poor final sector on his previous time, so there could still be a bit of time to find here, even though it's only 2 braking zones. What do we have here? He's run out of energy. He does improve by 4 tenths. He's found another 10.5 in the final sector, but it's only at 18.3, so he'll probably have another chance of improving that. CBG Sambal is not on a lap, so he's probably going to the pits. We've got Scottish Ninja. I don't think... No, he hasn't set a lap time yet. He was right on the limit there of invalidating that lap. As he goes through the final sector, left-hander. He runs pretty wide here. He's lost a bit of time on the reacceleration. Runs nice and wide to maximise the traction. Stays nice and tight. It's not looking too bad. Yeah, it's B8 for him, 18.6. So that's his banker, 2 minutes away from the end of the session. If he's got enough fuel, he'll be able to go for another one. The softs work actually pretty well around this track. You can do 2, maybe 3 qualifying laps in a row, but yeah, compared to other tracks, the softs just don't die off like they don't exist. Sabi is on a lap as well. No, he is not anymore. Dan has started his, so I'll keep that in mind. Chris, we don't care about Chris. Triz.
Hive's on a good lap.
Hive? Okay, I'll have a look.
Well, he's just across the line,
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to P6.
Okay. Hive has had a tough season last season. I was expecting a bit more from him. I think he finished around P10 in the standings. I don't know if you still have them in front of you.
Ooh,
But
I can do.
He, where did Hive finish? He was P8 at the end
P8,
of
all right.
the championship.
And I remember actually commentating on Qatar, and he was in a really good position, but then had a crash out and DNF'd because of that. So maybe I think the pace is generally there. It's just a bit of the consistency, maybe.
That's probably it, yeah. Because I couldn't believe he was there in the championship, because I could remember like him fighting for pole and being in good positions, and seeing him in P8 is, yeah, it was a bit surprising. So you must be right about that. Where can Dan put his car? He found a 10th, and he's only found just about a 10th or 2, so it's still P14 for him. Who else do we have?
Chris Bailey has hit the wall.
Oh,
shocking!
Making his mistakes now instead of during the Xtreme race, trying to find the limits of the track. It's as we were saying earlier on, everybody makes mistakes around this track, and as proof, even Chris can. So don't worry if you make mistakes around this track. Just keep your head down, carry on driving, and try and get the points for yourself and your team as well. As we've got a new point system we'll be talking about just after this qualifying session. Connor's found 2 tenths in the first sector. I'm just going to switch around to somebody else. Okay, we'll have to have a look at Avinash. So Connor's half a second up on his time. So that could bring him up to about P8 or even P7 if he finds even more time. What is Avinash looking at?
Naked champ looking good as well.
Yeah.
Up to the line. Nice. P3.
P3, okay. What about Connor? Has he found any more time? It's a 3/10 improvement, so that's P9 for him. But what about Avinash? He's got still plenty of energy.
He must have made a mistake.
Yeah, he must have made a mistake. It's P4 for him. One of our championship challengers from last season. He was leading it for about half the season, I think. Then he went on holiday, so missed 2 or 3 races, and 2 or 3 races is a lot to miss. So for a title challenge, yeah, that hurt his chances. But I don't believe, well, I'm not aware of any potential holidays or races that he'll be missing this season. So he's probably fancying his chances as much as Wookie is for this season. One thing Avinash does have is really good consistency in the race. He's got the ability of fighting his way back up the order. For anybody who would like to see what that looks like, just have a look at Abu Dhabi Tier 3 last season. He fell down the order not because of his strategy, but because of a poorly timed safety car. So his strategy was exposed, and he had to work his way back up. As we are given the grid for this race, it's going to be Wookie, Triz, and Naked Champ in the top 3. Avinash, Smith, Hive Eclipse, Night Shadow, Ant Stoke, Connor, Scottish Ninja, Antone, CBG Sambel, Sabi, Dan, Mikawa, Single Track, Airways, Air Bailey, wow, Chris Bailey, and Omar Red. I don't know what happened there. Airways. I saw Airways and Chris Bailey. I went Air Bailey. It's like Air Jordan, Air Bailey. So I don't know. Both of you guys try and make a collaboration if you want. Like, I don't know, a Leeds logo with a Red Bull in it and whatever team Airways supports, and that could be good enough for a brand. I'll just be displaying the grid. People will be able to see what tyre each driver will be picking. Yeah, so we've got quite a few drivers at the back. Oh, we've also got another guy. I don't know him. He must be new and didn't notice him. J in a Visa Cash App has joined and will be starting this race. Right.
I noticed that in the quali he flashed up that he joined, but then he didn't choose a car, so I forgot he was there. But
yeah,
I guess he will be there for the race.
Exactly. Yeah. So more carnage. Lovely.
Not like we haven't got enough, anyway.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get plenty on this track. What do you think of this track? You were saying that you
like
kind of enjoy it, but what is it you enjoy about it?
I mean, it sounds a bit silly seeing as I'm racing it in my little office room here, but the fact that you have such elevation changes is quite unique for a Formula One track, except for somewhere like Spa, perhaps. So I do quite enjoy that about here, and I've just had quite a few enjoyable races here in the past. There's a couple of good overtaking opportunities down into turn 1, and then on the second DRS straight, which is it turn 6 at the end of there, something like that?
I'd say 5.
5 or 6, yeah. You can overtake there as well, and yeah, there's just it's quite a unique challenge, and obviously it was only brought into the calendar during the COVID years, so it's not really a track that otherwise might have been in Formula One. But I think it, for what the time it was there, was quite a nice addition. Yeah,
I've got to agree with you. The undulations make for some good racing sensations. Like driving it feels good until you spin.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are like corners where you can take different lines if you're fighting like side by side with somebody. It's a hard track to overtake on, even though it's wide. But there are those corners, like as you said, like through turn 5. If you position yourself nicely, you can then go side by side into turn 6 and switch back for turn 8, or I don't know. But it is a bit of a mad track to race on. I'd say it's one of the most challenging ones on the calendar. What really comes to my mind when I'm thinking about Portugal in real life is was it 2021 or 2020? I think it was the 2021 race start where Raikkonen was like P12 or something, or P14, made up 10 positions. He went up. Was he leading the race? It was something mad.
I think he got himself up into the top 5, but yeah, I mean, in an Alfa Romeo, I mean, it was ridiculous how on a greasy track, I think
exactly.
I think it was just a bit slick, and just showing what a brilliant driver he was.
Yeah, even in his in the autumn of his career, he still had those few moments of brilliance. I think he picked maybe one season too late to retire, but it is what it is. Really good driver. And we've got a new Kimi as well. We've got a new Kimi coming and joining in 2025. Let's see if he can deliver half what Kimi could do. He's only got one title, but I know Martin wouldn't agree with me, but I think he's definitely one of the drivers who could have been multiple world champions.
Absolutely. I mean, I think 2005 maybe was really the one that got away from him, because he was so quick that year. I mean, this is a long time ago, obviously, but
20 years ago, everybody.
I'm old enough.
We're old.
Yeah, old enough to remember that far back. But yeah, he just was in a McLaren that had a lot of reliability issues that year, which cost him quite a lot of races.
Most definitely. 2005, 2003, and imagine if he had the best car in 2012 when he came back. Imagine. That was some season on his comeback. Anyway, let's have a look at the tyre strategies. It was on screen earlier on, so you already have an idea of what's going on. We've got Wookiee on medium tyres, so going for the longer first stint. We've got Triz, Naked Champ on softs in the top three, and then Avinash, the first on mediums after Wookie. So it's a pretty even split, to be honest. What is it? We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 on the medium tyres, and it doesn't matter for the final 5 drivers, or is it 4 drivers? Yeah, 4 drivers we don't care about. So pretty evenly split. 7 and what is it? 8 or 9 on soft tyres. Both strategies are good. Softs is good if you want to have an early, a bit of an undercut. The undercut will last for about 5 laps, I'd say. So there's a lot of time to gain on a fresh set of mediums. But yeah, those soft tyres can definitely go the distance on this track, which is really surprising because of the speed at which you go through the corners and the amount of traction you need out of several corners, to be honest. But yeah, tyre wear is not too much of a factor on this track. Soft, medium, soft is all good. Chris has decided to go for the experimental strategy. He wants to feel how bad the hards are. So, yep. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, top 15 scores points tonight, everybody. This season we've got the top 15 point system like MotoGP. So even more incentive for everybody to go till the end of the race and not retire in the pits, as everybody's forming up on the grid. We're waiting for the final few ones. It's going to be a Kicksauber and probably an Alpine at the back, which sounds pretty realistic, strangely, but let's go on board with Avinash for the start as we get to 4, then 5 red lights as they now go out. He's got a really good start on the mediums. Wookie got a pretty poor one. He might be losing out on several positions here, but we've got the Alpine on the inside as he's pushed wide a little bit. Avinash is sticking to the inside there. We've got a penalty already for Ant Stoke with quite a bit of carbon fibre flying around. G has made 5 positions up on the start. Mikawa is down in P18. Connor and it's pretty much 2x2 in P6 to P9. Triz has taken the lead. He's still going side by side as we were talking about earlier on. Side by side into 7 and 8, and now another wheel banging between the 2 drivers. Wookie's doing well to stick with him with a set of cold medium tyres on the race start. Yeah, they're now really following each other. This is the section where you can't really get alongside the driver ahead of you. Yeah, that gap is very, very, very small, but Wookie is doing really well to be that close to Triz. Triz is going to be under pressure during the first straight. It won't be DRS activation just yet, but they will be getting it between turns 4 and 5. Anything you've been noticing?
Well, the 2 Hasses, and then we've got a Kicksauber. Armour Red's gone off at the last couple of corners. But yeah, the 2 Hasses had a dreadful start, both spinning at turn 3, and since then Scottish Ninja's made up a few spots. Sabi has as well. There was a few spins and some front wing end plates flying about as well. So
Wookie's going for the lead here into turn 5. Goes into the inside. Does he manage to keep it through the exit? No. Triz gets the soft tyres working very nicely on the traction area. Traction zone. I'm losing my words. But Triz has still got the lead. There's a really good mix in the lead here with soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium. We've got a good alternation between the tyres, which shows that the mediums are still working really well. Well, they are working really well despite this being really early on in the race. It bodes really well for the rest of the race as we've got a spin from Naked Champion, the RB, dropping down the order. We were talking about him earlier on a bit. He's a very quick driver, but he does tend to have that mistake in him, like moments of madness and just a random spin sometimes. And yeah, it's hurt him not too badly this time around because he's still in the train as Wookie goes around the outside of turn 1, pretty easily done for him with his Senna helmet. He usually likes to have his Senna helmet. Yeah, he could be under pressure again from Triz, so let's still stick with them for this part of the track as Armas sets the fastest lap. It looks like Triz is under more pressure from Avinash than he's putting on Wookie. So Wookie's doing really well to have that distance to Triz.
Just seen Smith and Scottish Ninja both have similar spins coming out of turn 4. So struggling for traction around there. Both getting back on track quite quickly though.
Chris has joined the fastest lap challenge. He's put his set of soft tyres after having one lap with the set of hards. But Wookie has only got a half a second gap to Triz, so Triz has still got an opportunity to go for the lead at the end of this lap. But it was a bit of a poor mid corner there in turn 15. Yeah, Triz is still not that far away. He's not going to be under pressure from Avinash, as we've got Wookie flashing away. Yeah, I think Avinash is looking really good in this race. He's being really patient. He's not going for a move. He's just next to Triz, ready to pounce when there's a mistake. But let's go on board with him. He's positioning himself on the inside of the corner, bails out of it, takes a nice line, gets very close to the yellow sausage curb. As Ant Stoke gets another 3 seconds, so he's probably up to 6 seconds at least. Chris has validated the fastest lap challenge. Well done. Who else do we have in a fight? We've got Hive Eclipse hunting Connor down. So that will be a fight to follow at the end of the lap because of the DRS zone. What can Triz do? Can he set himself up? He's about nearly 3 tenths further away than he was last lap around. He's about 2 tenths away from where he was. He's lost a bit of time on this lap, although he got pretty close towards the end of the lap. So he's going to be under pressure from Avinash. This could be the best chance up to this point for Avinash. Now, he chooses to bail out of it. He just wants to stick with them. He doesn't want to fight. What can Hive do? Can he get Connor? He goes for the outside. And makes the move stick. He stays on track, really good. As we saw Mercedes go off track slightly. Good job from the Aston Martin driver. What do we have? We've got Avinash is trying to go for a move on Triz. This could be the opportunity for Wookie to pull away from Triz because there's now a 6/10 gap between them. The middle sector is where Wookie seems to have the pace, so he's probably running a bit higher wings, than what Triz has. Is there anything else you've spotted?
Well, it's just observing at the moment that we've got 2 distinct groupings at the front end. Obviously, the first 5 are all together, and then Hive down to Airways in 10th. Mika has had a spin, unfortunately, down towards the back of the field. But, he's still trying to get used to things.
Yeah.
So he's down towards the back of the pack. But, yeah, it's a shame for Hive to be where he is.
Oh, we've got McLaren hitting the wall on the pit straight. He must have had slight contact with another car. He's got history with Naked Champ being called an imbecile last season by the South African driver. So I didn't see what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if history has been repeating itself, as Triz has run a bit wide out of turn 5. He's not been overtaken by Avinash, but that gap to Wookie is slightly increasing. I had to cut to what I saw happening.
Yeah. Were you saying before that Naked Champ had a few race bans last season as well?
Yeah.
Spicy.
Exactly. Yeah. So, the Scotsman and the South African have probably another few words to exchange at the end of this race, although we don't advise it. I'm just saying they might do. Wookie's got a 9/10 gap. See, he's not broken the DRS just yet, but every single lap, every single tenth he takes out of Triz is a lot of toe, which is being taken away from him. And Avinash is going alongside, and he's making the move stick. He's ahead before the braking zone, so it's completely his corner. And yeah, great job here by Avinash. We've got him already on lap 7, medium tyres in P1 and P2. It's not looking good for the soft tyres as it stands.
It's crucial now for Triz and Champ to try and stay in DRS if at all possible, because otherwise they are just going to lose touch with the front two, and they're fighting at the moment, which is only going to be losing them more time. But, yeah, that gap now 1.3 and still increasing. Although it's coming down now. Maybe that's a bit of
that's probably
DRS
because Triz is trying to defend,
yeah.
Trying to defend from Naked Champ being so eager to get a move done. He can see this race falling away from him, with the medium tyres being kind of alone in the distance. He doesn't want to be falling down the order without them. So he's going to be trying to go for a move as soon as possible, as Triz is 1.1 seconds behind Avinash, which means he doesn't have DRS, and it's an open goal here for Naked Champ. Yeah, Triz doesn't even defend it. He knows that there's no point in it, so pulls out of the racing line, lets Naked Champ through, and we'll try and close that gap to the front too, which has already been closed. But we've got a Haas spinning around, or is it? No, it's Scottish. Oh yeah, it's Scottish Ninja. Really not having the best of races here. We've got Gav as well down the order because of his front wing change, early pit stop. So he's gone for hard tyres, trying to go to the end. He's done the right thing in my opinion. Yeah, there's not much he could do else from this point on. Definitely put the hard tyres. They're bad, but if a safety car happens, he'll be able to go for another set of mediums or something else. Scottish Ninja's got a 10-second penalty. That's probably because he was trying to let everybody else through off track. Avinash is still sticking to Wookie. Avinash is really looking good. To me, it looks like he's not trying his best right now. He's got plenty in his tank.
Yeah, I'm just surprised these front two have allowed Champ and Triz to get back into DRS. I thought they were pretty much set to ride off into the sunset and have a race all by themselves, but yeah, it's opened up opportunities still for Champ and Triz to hold on to DRS as long as possible.
It is indeed. They can really extend their first stint with if they can stick to the DRS of these two guys and have an even more powerful undercut. What is going on? It's looking. Oh, I was going to say it's looking good for the Aston Martin guys, but
contact between Connor and single
Martin,
track there. Yeah, single track was sliding through turn 3, pretty much right on the apex, and Connor tried his best to avoid a collision, but in the end, I don't know if he's lost any front wing, but it was a pretty sizable bit of contact they had. Looks okay.
Yeah, I can't see any damage from where I am. No, I can't see any damage. So, unless it's invisible, they should be fine. Yeah, we've got our first retirement of the new season. Remember, everybody, the top 15 score points. So, right now, if you're in P17, P16, just keep going on. You may just get points at the end of this race. Other people can retire. And yeah, just carry on, guys. And if you feel like there's no point in it, well, just keep in mind that it can't get any worse than this, and any practice you get will help you get even better for the next race. This is one of the toughest tracks of the season, so go to the end until the end, and that will show you can go the distance in any track. Antone has got a 3-second penalty that will hurt him. He's got quite a few drivers behind him. So that will be a few points dropped if he doesn't manage to pull away from the other guys. What's happening up front? Avinash and Wookie have gapped the following Red Bull and RB and Alpine. I don't know if you saw what happened there, but I guess that there was a bit of fighting between them, so they've been dropping off.
No, I didn't see, but it could have been that. It could also have just been that those soft tyres now are really starting to drop off.
Could be, yeah.
And it's given them, the opportunity to create that gap. Just want to give a shout out to Anton as well. He's the highest performing non-PlayStation driver at the moment, up in P6 on the PC, so very well done.
Also highest performing newcomer, so it's looking good for him, as Avinash takes the lead on the start-finish straight through a DRS overtake, but Wookie's got a 3-second time penalty, so again, this is playing into Avinash's hands. He's been looking really quick all race long, like kind of holding his punches back, and now he can hold them even further back because he's only got to be within 3 seconds to beat Wookie, so keep it clean, and he's in for not an easy win because there's still 22 and a half laps to go, but he's in for a really good result if he keeps this up. What else do we have? Further down the field, we've got Anton being caught up by Connor, so there won't be much fighting until the DRS zone. I think I'll still go on board with Connor to see how these two are driving. So it looks like Anton is struggling in that middle sector here, turn 8. It really is a challenging corner, turn 8. You have to take the perfect line to have a good exit, and so easy to spin out. We've not seen that many spins, to be honest, I think. So
no, I think the guys are doing pretty well so far. Only the one retirement, and that was in the pits, and no one has crashed out badly yet. Probably Gavin's was the worst that we've seen. But,
but it looks like a very separate incident, not track related.
Yeah. So yeah, kudos to the Tier 3 boys so far.
Definitely. So Connor's going for the move. They're really pretty neck and neck going into that corner, but he goes wide, so he'll probably let Anton go back through, which he does. And that's a really good switchback. He doesn't get the move done just yet, but he can still get the move done at the end. Oh, he's got a 3-second time penalty as well. Being really eager on the acceleration, but he brakes a little too late there. Slight contact. I don't think he got a warning from that. Would be a shame. What's going on? Smith is putting Dan under pressure. As Naked Champ's got a 3-second time penalty, so he's dropping away from the top 2, and he's got a penalty. Not looking good for Naked Champ in the slightest in this race, as Dan has struggled on the exit of turn 8. Smith is putting him under so much pressure here. He's only 4 tenths away.
Avinash
takes the lead again. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are too bothered about losing the lead right now. This is just a game of leapfrog at the moment between those two.
Exactly, they're exactly where they want to be. They are P1, P2, which doesn't really get much better than that. P1, P2 with a 2.5 second cushion to Naked Champ. And it's only increasing now. He's already dropped like 7 tenths in half a lap, so it's looking really good for these medium drivers.
Yeah, and I just wonder how much longer the softs are going to go for at this point.
I reckon they can go 15 laps without being too bad.
Okay, it's longer than I thought.
It really is surprising on this track. I can kind of remember on previous games the softs not being good on this track, and I couldn't believe they were good on this track. It's like Silverstone as well. The softs are so bad on this game, but Silverstone, they're fine. They'll go on forever. Right, what can Triz do? At the end of this lap, he's not close enough, but Wookie is. So, as you say, they're leapfrogging right now. Wookie taking the lead, and taking turns,
Champ
pushing.
Champ and Triz have come in,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Triz, unfortunately, has sped into the pit lane and got himself a
Oh.
10-second penalty.
So, yeah, their pit stop is now on lap 13, which is okay, I think. But it will mean they need to do 20 laps on a set of mediums. They can go the distance, but now they're going to be going for a really big undercut. They were about 3 seconds away from the leaders. So you can expect them to be ahead once Wookie and Avinash go to the pits, which should be in about 10 laps or something, at most.
And we've got a couple more drivers leaving the pits, or was that still?
We've got Dan leaving the pits.
I think there was a Mercedes as well, but I can't figure out who it was. I think it was Antone.
It's
as well.
got to be Anton because Mika is coming up to the pits right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Antone goes for a spin. Maybe those mediums are a little bit cold.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like the conditions are their warmest. Whoa, what the?
What's happened there to Armour?
Yeah, there was contact between Arma and Dan. I think Dan was ahead and Arma ran into him. I don't know what happened. They'll have to... Yeah, it's there on board.
Like a strange one.
Yeah, it was a really weird one. What else do we have? We've got Chris already up to P6. I mean, that just shows just how quick the top tier 1 guys are. Like, he pit early on, went for a set of hards, went for another set of mediums. Oh no, he started on hards and went for softs. Sorry, no, he went for hard and then soft, and he's already up to P5. Still a good fight between Wookie and Avinash. They're losing a bit of time to Naked Champ, which is to be expected. As I was speaking, they've already lost 4 tenths to him, so that delta is going down really quickly. They don't want to wait too long to put their set of soft tyres, but of course, right now it's too early. That would be an 18-lap stint on soft tyres. They don't want to fall in that trap. Okay, the delta's going down, but they'll have even more pace towards the end of the race, so they can still afford leapfrogging as they are right now. What else do we have? We don't have that many fights, I think. We've got big deltas. The closest fight we've got currently is Chris and Airways, but they're reserves. They're higher tier drivers. So, not to be disrespectful, but that's not what we're here for. Naked Champ gets the fastest lap. It's a 19.6. This is getting some proper lap times in. Just for reference, that beats Chris's fastest lap from early on in the race. So, that's how quick Naked Champ is right now. I think he's already taken 2 seconds out from when I was talking about the gap, or a second and a half. I can't remember what the reference was at the time.
And he's gapped Triz behind him as well, so he's really on a charge.
Yeah, he really has. So keep in mind, everybody, he's gapped Triz by 2 seconds. Well, he's 3 seconds behind, but he's gapped him by 2 seconds. So imagine that by how much he's been catching Wookie and Avinash. He's put himself right back into contention for this race. Wookie got a bit of a twitch on the exit of turn 15, and he's going to the pits. Is he going for hard tyres from here?
I mean, it
Ooh.
would have to be, surely.
I'm hoping he's putting softs on because I've been driving I went on the hard tyres during the reveal race just to know what they feel like, and they were dreadful.
It is hard.
And it was sunny. And this is not sunny conditions. It's pretty much overcast yet. So I think,
Oh, I thought, well, is Naked Champ going to go around the outside of Wookie into turn 1? He is. I was just about to say I didn't quite think that he was going to get by, but yeah, I mean, maybe that was what Wookie was guarding against. Maybe he saw the fastest lap from Champ and just sensed maybe that the undercut was going to be so strong, and that put Savanash in quite an interesting spot now because he has gone a lap longer, and he might fall even further behind if he pits now.
He will, but unlike Wookie, I think he'll have some really good tyres. I can't see Avinash falling in the trap and pitting for hards right now. Let's go to Avinash. No, he's sticking to the left side of the track, so not going into the pits. Lap 18, so he's definitely gone over the... he will be going over the midway point of the race, so there's no point in going for hard tyres once you're in the second half of the race. I can't see him going for the hard, as Mika gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Gio's having a tough race. I think that not taking part in qualifying has hurt him a bit.
He's not in the car. Is why.
Okay, thank you. Connor's got another 3-second time penalty.
This is interesting now because Champ's pace here has really brought himself back into play.
Yeah.
And made it difficult for Wookie and Avinash to make the right decision about when they pit.
I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed by Wookie right now because I don't think it's the right call, but he's sticking with Naked Champ. He's only just got out of the pits. His tyres are stone cold, and stone cold hards are not a good set of tyres. So right now he's still sticking with him. I honestly thought that within one sector, Naked Champ would be away with warm medium tyres. Okay, that gap has just broken the 1 second window, but he's done really well to stick with him for that long. 1.2 seconds now, so Naked Champ is very much focused on closing that gap to Avinash. And Avinash could be pitting the next lap, I'd say. He will have completed 19 laps on a set of mediums. That will be a 14-lap stint on soft tyres. Less fuel than what everybody else has been doing. A 13-lap stint on full tanks. So 14 laps is more than feasible for him. He'll have to catch up to Naked Champ, but remember, Naked Champ has got a 3-second time penalty. Let's have a quick look at the time penalties. Triz has got a 10-second time penalty, so that will, that's really ended his race. There's no way he's getting that removed if it's in the pits. And Wookie, Naked Champ, all hurt with their 3-second time penalties. Avinash is looking really strong here.
And, well, he's committed, obviously, now to potentially giving up the lead when he pits, but he's going to have the much better tyre in fresh softs.
That's
so
exactly it.
It should come back to him really quickly. And obviously, with the penalty situation, he is sitting pretty at the moment.
Yeah. He will probably have, I'd say, maybe 2 seconds to catch up as it stands. I think it's a 25-second pit stop, so that would bring him about 5 seconds behind Naked Champ, which might be just with Wookie as well, so he won't want to fight with Wookie either. But yeah, he will have about a second to catch up to the 3-second interval to Naked Champ, so it's like he can still carry on for a long time here if he wants. He can still go on for another 2 laps. He will probably lose 2 or 3 seconds, but with the tyre advantage, he'll still catch up, and he can go for an even faster slap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's in a really strong position. He's not lost anything this lap. It's mad. He's got 13.
Yeah, he's driving very well.
Yeah.
And just behind the Haas of Sabi. Don't think he's quite close enough for DRS, which would be a big help to him at this point.
Still staying out Avinash, so it will be at most a 12-lap stint on the soft tyres. And yeah, he's lost just about 6, I can't remember, maybe 0.8 of a second to Naked Champ on this lap. So all in all, he can afford this. What else do we have? Antone, Smith, Airways. Yeah, there aren't any other fights. I mean, there's Dan, who's about 1.1 seconds away from Gav. with fresher tyres, so he will be catching up surely. Yeah, apart from that, it really is just Avinash biding his time, finding the right time to go to the pits, as he's had a bit of an excursion there around turn. Is it 10? Around, yeah, I think it's turn 10 and 11. So he's probably got a bit of a scare just now and thinks, okay, yeah, I've taken these tyres 21 laps. I've deserved a fresh set of tyres. Let's see what he does at the end of this lap around turn 16. He's sticking to the left side of the track, mate. He's sticking to the left. He's very confident.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I would be getting quite nervy right now if it was me in this position, because
Really?
he's lost about 7 seconds of time since Champ pitted for fresh mediums. That's not an inconsiderable amount of time that he's got to make up in the last 10 or 11 laps when he does make his pit stop. So, but I'm sure that he has got the idea of what he's trying to do. And obviously, you know, the longer he waits, the greater the tyre differential he's going to have.
Yeah.
With the fresh softs and the much more worn mediums on Champ's car.
What would the tyre delta be currently? If he goes to soft tyres, how much quicker would he be compared to... It will be 9 lap old mediums. Would be about 1.2 seconds maybe, 1.5?
Yeah, it's going to be big. Obviously, the other thing he has to factor in is that, you know, the softs are good around here, but they will still inevitably start going off. So that delta is going to get smaller with every lap. So 16.6 now, and he still carries on around the track. 16.5 seconds. It's really... He's going to be behind Wookie as well, so he's going to have to make a couple of overtakes.
I'm trying to see if there's...
Getting very slidey through turn 3 as well. So those mediums really are struggling.
I think maybe part of his thinking right now would be a late safety car. He's maybe thinking, oh, what would happen if I pit now and a safety car just comes out? I'll be losing out so much time. I'd rather stay out for as long as possible. I don't think that's the right way to think about it, but it might be what's going through his mind as well, trying to protect himself from it.
It's
but surely,
gamble.
Yeah. I mean, with him being in such a good position, you don't need that kind of gamble.
No.
So, 10 laps from the end, does he finally choose to stop imitating me and finally go to the pits? Avinash pit, please. Come on, mate. He's sticking to the right side of the track. Yay!
There we go.
Let's go for the Portuguese ways. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I think he just hit it really nicely there. So he might have gained a bit of time thanks to that perfect pit entry. So it's going to be red set of soft tyres. He will be coming out probably P3, maybe even P4. No. Triz is too far away. We can see Avinash coming to the end of the pits. And he is P3 right now, so what is he? He's 7, it's going to be about 8 seconds behind Naked Champ. So we will be changing the point of view of the intervals. It will be gaps to the leader instead of intervals. So he is 8.9 seconds away with 10 laps to go. He needs to get within the 3-second gap, so that's 6 seconds in 10 laps. Honestly, 0.6 of a second a lap is more than feasible.
It is. We'll get an idea of exactly how fast he is on this tyre once he's done his first flying lap. The gap's still, well, it's starting to come down now, 8.7.
Yeah, the tyre temperature is finally coming in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that he's chosen to do it this way because it's made
Oh yeah,
the end of this race a lot more exciting than it could have been.
yeah, it is much more entertaining. Well, the thing is, he doesn't need to overtake Naked Champ, so that kind of limits the spectacle we might have. But definitely, there is something to chase. There is something that can happen in this race. He's already. It's been less than a lap. He's already taken 0.6 of a second out. Less than a lap, and yeah, he's already taken 1 second out now. That's 0.5 in one corner, another 0.2 in another corner. It's coming down so quickly right now, everybody. Unless anything absolutely mad happens, you're looking at the race winner here for the first race of the season. Maybe we'll get a Ferrari winner in real life as well.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? It will be Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. Yeah, after all the anticipation.
So what else is happening? I'll switch to intervals for a moment to have a quick look at if anybody's fighting. We've got a fight between Anton and Connor, but that's been a race-long battle, I feel. We've got Dan as well following Night Shadow in P12, and that's about it. So I'm going to go back to the leader gap as Avinash sets at 19.0. Remember earlier on, Naked Champ's time was a 19.6, I think, so that's already 0.6 quicker than Naked Champ's fastest lap. He's taken 1.5 seconds out this lap. Let that sink in.
I'm trying to find the fastest lap. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, 0.6 of a second faster than Champ. So that is probably enough if he can keep that going. He's going to be probably catching Wookie in a couple of laps' time, and then getting a DRS boost when he gets there should help him even more. I'm a little bit surprised that Wookie hasn't started to close up on Champ again yet, with the fact that the hards are going to be a lot more durable than the mediums, but Champ's pace is still pretty impressive.
Well, the point you're making is valid for most tracks, but the mediums are already pretty durable. I mean, Avinash did a 23 lap stint, and he wasn't exactly slow, you know. So I think the problem is just that the mediums are so durable that the hards are just completely useless. You need the whole race distance for them to start being quicker than mediums. That's the way I feel about them. So they're not a good strategy components. But I think Wookie's done really well to only lose out on 4 seconds to Naked Champ. As Avinash is positioning himself, left plenty of space. Oh, there was a bit of a tap, but it's all good between them, I believe, as he's only got a 5.2 second gap to Naked Champ right now. It's only 2.2 seconds to find in the remaining, 5.5 laps left. So there's still some time to find, but Avinash is looking very, very good indeed. What else do we have in terms of fights? Single track Chris and Airways, but they are all top tier drivers. Anton is still ahead of Connor. As Connor's got another 3 second time penalty, let's have another look at penalties. We've got Anton on 6, but Connor's got 9. So whatever happens between them, as long as Anton stays clean, Connor will unfortunately be losing out, as Anton was really close on those track limits. And again, that's lovely. That's exactly what we want to see, being on the absolute limits of the track. What's going on between Night Shadow and Dan? Yeah, Night Shadow's got a 3 second time penalty, so as long as Dan stays behind him, Dan will be scoring an extra point. P12 is 4 points, I believe. 4 points, yeah. So a good start to his MRC career. Let's have another look at the gaps. We've got a bit of a spin from Wookie, I think.
No, Wookie's okay.
No,
I think that was
okay. Yeah, he must have had just a bit of a moment. Yeah. Yeah, I caught him at the wrong time. It looked worse than it actually was. So that gap has now closed down to 4 seconds. So a second gain since we spoke about it this time last lap. He's well on track. Maybe he will actually even overtake Naked Champ. We could be seeing that. A win on track. It's probably a good way of doing it because we don't know how many warnings he's got. If he has 2 warnings, he's very close to getting a penalty. So overtaking Naked Champ would be the safest way of getting the win under his belt. What else do we have? What's the fight status between these guys? CBG Sambal has joined this fight. Actually, he's just behind Dan right now, as Dan runs really wide and gets overtaken by CBG Sambal. Unless he can still fight it on the inside, he's fighting it. Let's go on board with him. Nah, he's pulled out of that fight. He's let CBG Sambal through. I think that was sensible. CBG Sambal had a lot of speed and was on the inside for the next corner. And ladies and gentlemen, Avinash is within the 3-second interval of Naked Champ. He's taken 1.4 seconds in this lap alone. This man is on a roll. He was playing, he was toying with everybody. He was like, okay, yeah, I don't need to be in the lead just now. I can let everybody else fight. Yeah, Wookie, drag me along. Let's get a gap to these soft tyres. Oh, that was really easy. Let's go for a 23 lap stint. Yeah, let's make it 23. And he's like, yeah, 2.2 seconds away. This is too easy for the man.
And he would have been able to see as well the penalties that everyone else had. So
yeah,
I think he was, in hindsight now, he was well in control of what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, we were given an estimation of where he'd be getting out of the pits, and it was always not too far away. It was always achievable with the tyre difference, but the only risk was, until when is he going to be pushing? Is he going to be going till lap 26, 27? And that would be too much. So yeah, we wanted to see him in the pits to make sure he wasn't going to be losing this race. But yeah, 1.8 seconds away now. He's already taken another second out since we spoke about the gap. So with 3 laps remaining after this one, he'll get at least one shot at a DRS overtake, which is pretty easy around this track. How is the fight going between Connor and Antone? Again, a switch back here, this time from Antone, not from Connor. Antone playing with the track limits again. This is looking really good for him. He's got good overspeed. He's going for the outside. Oh, that wasn't good for me. Whoa. Yeah, Connor just struggled a little bit on the reacceleration. So a slight gap between both drivers, but it's all good. Whoa, you don't want to touch that sausage curd though. I don't know what the tyre difference is between these two guys. Connor's on hard tyres, I didn't notice. That's why he's struggling.
Yeah, similar age, but Connor on the hards.
Yep, that won't be helping. Tell you what though, Avinash isn't only within a second of Naked Champ. He's also, he's not within the 3 seconds, he's also within a second. He's going to be getting DRS this time round. So let's just, let Naked Champ enjoy probably his final lap in the lead until Avinash takes control of this race again. Not that it's ever left his control, to be honest, but it will be on paper in control of him.
Yeah, this is going to be a slam dunk move down the pit straight, you feel.
Yeah.
With DRS open.
He probably won't even go for it, actually, knowing him.
His red lights flashing on the rear, so I think he is. Although Champ looks to be maybe using a bit of battery as well to try and defend.
Yeah. I mean, he could go for a switchback here and go for the move into turn 5, so no switchback, but he does take a bit of a later apex. Yeah, no, he's not going for the move. yeah, he's doing it on the final lap. So we'll go off board and have a look at everybody else. Airways is still having a race-long fight with single track, both Tier 2 drivers. Smith is in P9 right now. He won't be gaining positions because the guys ahead are too far away to affect for the penalties to affect them. What do we have? Do we have Connor fighting Anton? Anton is back in front. Yeah, kudos to Connor for fighting like that because those tyres are not made for fighting on this track. He's still sticking with Anton. Yeah,
Night Shadow's going to try a move around the outside of Sambal into turn 1, but Sambal defended that well on the inside, but Gav had a look at the switchback, but wasn't close enough. Might get it with DRS though.
Final lap. Avinash doesn't go for the move just yet.
Connor spun. Connor spun out of turn 4 and dropped down to 14th.
That's very unlucky for him, but Avinash is now going for the move
as well.
Oh, yeah. But he's lucky it's on the final lap then because he goes for the switchback on Naked Champ. Naked Champ gets good traction out of turn 5. Oh no, don't tell me. No, he's going for the outside move. Oh my goodness. He's gone for the outside move and he's made it work.
Wow.
Well done, Avinash. That was really good. Really, really good. I'm so glad that move was made for the lead instead of a move on the DRS zone. Honestly, thank you, mate, because that's making a move for the lead on the final lap on turn 8, the most horrible corner ever. Honestly, well done, mate. That was really good. So that's your move for the lead. Even he didn't. That was just showboating from him. That's what it was. That's Neymar doing a rainbow flick against a 5th division team or whatever in France. So honestly, well done, mate. We've got maybe some last. No, I was going to say Connor and Anton, but no, Connor went down the order. Night Shadow and CBG Sambal maybe, but CBG Sambal has pulled away a little bit. So I don't think there's any action to show. It's very much status quo. Yeah. So we can probably go through the order now, even though only the top 5 have crossed the line. We've got a win from Avinash, Naked Champ, and Wookie, who had a good final stint despite being on hard tyres, who complete the podium. We've got Hive Eclipse. We said earlier on he's got the pace, and tonight he made it work as well through Triz's 10-second time penalty in the pits. Very unlucky from him. Smith in P7, our double champion from last season in X and Xtreme. CBG Sambal ahead of single track, and Dan has finished ahead of Night Shadow because of Night Shadow's penalties. So good result for the first race from Dan. Anton in P12, despite having a pretty good start to the race. P13 for Connor. As you can see, he's got a very, very badly damaged McLaren right now. Airways, Armour and Stoke. I was expecting a lot from Stoke in this race. I was expecting him to be at the front. He hasn't delivered tonight. He probably will next week. Sabi, Mika, Jay, and our only retirement from the evening is Scottish Ninja down in P20. So we're just waiting on Armour Red to cross the line so we can go to the podium celebrations with, again, the South African taking full points, number 69. Absolutely lovely drive. Yeah, Jody Scheckter is proud of this man.
What a throwback. Jody Scheckter.
What is it? Is that 79 world champion or something?
Yeah, 79.
I wasn't born then, everybody. Don't worry.
Yeah, we went around then. we're just nerds.
We're just aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 South African flags. Oh, they really are taking over Tier 3.
Oh, I've got a blank screen greeting me at the moment. There we go.
So yeah, we went through the results, so we don't really need to go through them again. I'll still display them for myself, so I can get the results more easily. Yeah, I think I know what you're going to be answering, but do you have any call for not fastest lap, but driver of the day?
It would be hard to look past the man in P1, wouldn't it?
It really was. Honestly, he was that good during the race that we could feel he wasn't even pushing that hard at the start of the race. He was behind Wookie. He wasn't going for the move. We just knew he was really on the game tonight. Yeah, we're going to have to agree on that one very easily. Avinash started P4, finished with the win. Very, very easy looking drive. Probably was harder than it looked, but he made it look very easy, and yeah, it never really felt in doubt from the moment everybody else got penalties. He kept it clean. That was a really good drive from him. Also, I'd like to point out a few things. Only one retirement, not a single safety car, no virtual safety car. Honestly, tier 3. Well done. That's really good. Around Portugal, none of those parasites, I'd say, to racing have happened. So well done to everybody for going till the end and yeah, giving us a good show.
Yeah, agreed. Very well done.
Right, well, everybody, thank you for having tuned in. The week isn't over in Portugal. We've still got another race in Algarve. We've got Xtreme coming up in whatever amount of minutes it is, but it's at a quarter to, what is it in the UK? Quarter to 9, I think. Yeah, quarter to 9.
Yep.
The race is. So I can't remember who's going to be commentating on it, but do tune in. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for this stream and the next one as well. So see you in a few minutes, everybody, and enjoy the next race.